say, and anybody, you know how I am about gender. You choose, you do what you want. But when you are dealing with certain types of women, with certain types of subconscious programming, you have to say, did you buy a mannequin, right? That's what the talks are about. That's what their titles, so be witty, but also on a subconscious level to think. Did you think you were buying a trophy wife and found instead you had a hollow thing that only looked good when you dressed them up and put it in the window? But they were dark inside to their core? Like so many of my clients and so many of my friends have found out, right? I love Playboys, so I have so many friends that are Playboys. And so they find out that after they get married, the woman that they marry tell them stuff like, I never loved you, I married you for the money, that they've been embezzling money from the man for years. They've been wanting to sneak and make sure they had enough shares, so they got the shares he gave them thinking, and once they think they have enough, they do the James Bond villain speech, right? I tell you that all the time. Villains do their little like, yeah, now that I got you in the position where I can do whatever I want to you, here's what I've been doing that you didn't know about. And then they always attack the guy's self-esteem, right? It's usually some years have passed, so the guys, they're like, you're getting older and you're this and you're that, and right? So they just like demonically like tearing a piece and go, your whole life was a lie because I never loved you. I was here for the money. That's what these women say to them. So I was just like, okay, that's not even a gold digger, right? Men and women both created the concept of what is a gold digger, because guys didn't want to date women that would naturally be attracted to them. They wanted to think, if they're not chiseled and handsome, and right, if they're not a guy that's biologically pulling women, how do they pull women? So they made sure at work women make less than men. They made sure we pay more for dry cleaning. They made sure it costs to be a single woman. And then they finance the others. And then, boom, this demonic breed of mannequins came about. And I kept getting clients and hearing these women brag about it, and hear my clients suffering, staying married to evil, horrible people that were torturing them because they were afraid to lose millions in their house in a divorce. So, did you buy a mannequin? Did you buy a mannequin? We can handle that. Don't worry. Because we've had some questions and some comments about some people wondering about the difference between the comments and the saying that we have, right? Of some girls try to be their best self and other girls try to beat the rest. It's not like a race, okay? Meaning like a marathon type of race. It's not that. No, what is actually happening is this. Some girls go, how do I look best? Like for me, I love wearing a dress, but not every style of dress looks good on me. Okay? So I wore dresses from every time period that exists. While I was growing up and becoming a teenager, I would practice different eyebrows, everything, till I felt I looked the best of what I was biologically given naturally. Okay? Then I pick the time periods where I feel like, oh, look, I feel so great in this dress. I love this dress so much, right? So if I don't feel like that in my dress, I didn't want it. Okay? You're a grown up. You choose your own clothes. Make sure you feel that way in all your clothes. But then there's a whole different kind of girl, not being their best. The beat the rest girls. It's not like they're even trying to dress better, be better. No. It is literally like beat the rest. They're casting spells, they're gossiping, they're lying, they're paying people to cast spells. They're doing stuff to attack and tear down other women. And a lot of them teach or do women's empowerment because it translated in their head. If you're a life coach and they're a life coach, or they're a fake life coach because they don't have spiritual gifts or skills to be a life coach, but they bought that system that you can buy for $25,000 or $100,000, and you get that script. Every client gets that script because they don't know how to write scripts, so they can't give you anything else than the thing that trick you to buy more stuff from them. So those girls were casting spells and attacking other girls that were just good life coaches. So if they were gifted as a life coach, then in order to beat you, they didn't become a better life coach. They didn't develop their spiritual skills. They just increased the level of black magic they sent towards the people who were better at it than they were. That shows you. So that's girls when they're little in competition. That shows you girls in ballet class. So the better ballerina gets attacked by the not so good one. About Teflon Duck. It's a workshop that we used to do where I literally would be on stage saying, shake your butt like Teflon Duck. Now, you know how I feel about antiques and modern. So, of course, I write comic books and I do my art. I write self-help books and travel books. So what I did was I like to have antique furniture of either the period of 1700 Rococo Baroque is what it's called, or American furniture periods that copy that. And the shoes I'm wearing are called broads. I like to wear bucks or broads. And of course, if I'm wearing a dress, I like to wear Mary Janes or stilettos. And someone asked me about that, so I wanted to give you the feedback on that. If you have other stuff, the Teflon Duck story started because I was on stage and people were like, people always do crazy stuff. And it's like, can you top this? So we started this game of, can you top this? And what that meant was I would tell them some crazy stuff I saw in a day or I personally experienced. And then they would tell me the thing that meant they should stay unhappy and whine and be mad at the person. And I'm not saying that people don't pay for what they do. I'm saying you don't pay or let yourself pay for something they've done by keeping anger inside of you. So it came from, we used to like throw rubber duckies in the crowd when I would give this one talk, right, about staying cheerful, keep your head above water, no matter what happens, like that kind of stuff. And that later grew into the mermaid tell your tale, right? So, shake your butt like Teflon Duck came from the rubber ducky stories. And I was like, look, if we covered one of these rubber duckies in Teflon, you'd be happy and you shake stuff off, right? Because stuff doesn't stick to the non-stick surface. But it wasn't as funny to say, shake your butt like non-stick rubber duck surface. And then I would like stick my butt out and shake it like a little rubber ducky. You know how ducks have that little raised tail, and how my butt's not that big, you know. So I stuck my little butt out and shake it, and then the crowd would stand up and they would shake it. So right now, stand up and shake your ducky butt and get all that icky stuff off of you. Hi everyone. Okay, so someone asked me about the mermaid products that we have. Like, I literally used to make mermaid tails and had 3 of my own. And so we were like, okay, so see how like today I have on absolutely no makeup. So this is how actually I wake up looking better than I look right now because I'm kind of tired. So here's how it goes. The mermaid class came after the mermaid photo shoot where I was in a tail. Then other people wanted a tail. And the mermaid photo shoot was to show subconscious reprogramming that we do with the art, right? So I'll show you the mermaid photo later, but the tails work like this. You go to the workshop or you do the online or, right? Because this year we're going online. People ask to go online. We can't fly around the world and meet. We can't even drive around California and meet. So we used to do Hawaii many years ago. But I've been not wanting to go to Hawaii for at least like 10 years. So here's how it works. When we tell a story, our cells relive those moments. Our bodies relive that trauma. And what I wanted clients to do was stop having the trauma go through and have them relive it. So this is what we did. If you TELL your TALE, like fairy tale, tell your tale, then you get a TAIL. So I started that as a concept, and people got swimmable tails, which meant you could put it on, go in a pool, go in the beach, swim. Or you got modeling tails, which meant you could have a lot more beads and aurora borealis and Swarovski crystals, and you could put anything on it, extra laces. It was like really beautiful. That's why I had 3 tails. And then there was what I call a carry tail. One tail you can walk in because there's a place for your feet to come out. And another tail, like my tail from the photo shoot, you have to be carried, okay? But once you're placed, then you can like pose like you're a real mermaid. So it was something that saved people's lives. The TELL, your TALE, you got a TAIL. And some girls wanted to show the world that they earned their tail from our workshops. So we took my mermaid watercolor art and turned them into bamboo talisman pendants that were like this big. They came in 2 sizes. And that's what you were able to get and use. I'll show you the pictures. Okay, so between the Shaker Teflon Butt Rubber Ducky classes and talks, then we got the mermaid talks. Then mermaids wanted their tails, and they had the different types of tails. It all had to do with the children's series that started about cheerfuls and grumpies, right? Some people naturally seem like they're always happy. And there's other people who seem to think it's their job to try to wipe the smiles off of the cheerfuls' faces. So it was a good anti-bullying campaign to write stories about cheerfuls and grumpies. So we invented that, and Mr. Buttons, which was from a childhood story. I wrote 8 books for a girl named Zoe before she was 12 months old, so that as the books were read to her, then she could get a lot of self-esteem and empowerment built in. So Mr. Buttons was her butler. He's a bear, right, that she can carry around. But the trick is Mr. Buttons is her personal valet and butler who reminds her to do things like take a bath, brush your teeth, her proper etiquette, how to be ladylike, right? And so it wasn't gender-based. Little boys might want to learn how to be ladylike too. And it had to do with being kind. Being a kind, good person so that the world has more kindness. So it wasn't be kind and good so you can act like you're better than someone else, or poo-poo on people because they don't have etiquette or that kind of thing. It was you increase your elegance with kindness, and it's because you bring love and push kindness into the world. So I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Okay, so the mermaid tails and the mermaid art was made 7 mermaids and a fairy. For those of you who don't know, when I do my art, I meditate and then I do the art. So I meditated and saw that different energy centers of the body, I do Chinese medicine, okay? So different energy centers of the body were represented by different colors of mermaid. And then in my meditation, I saw the coolest fairy who said people born in a female body, so bio girls, needed extra help in the sacral area, which would be like below the belly button and above the privates, right? And that's because when girls are jealous or mean, they attack girls. There's a difference between a girl being her best and the girls that attack the rest. You see, there's really, like my grandfather used to say, there's only 2 kind of people. People that get paid for what they do and people that get paid for what they know, right? And I thought about it, and if everybody's jobs boil down to that, even my markets literally boil down to me being both of those kinds of people, depending on the market I'm working in. But when I realized, even as a profiler and being a life coach, that I started saying, no, it's a joy coach, right? And I was getting more and more mean girls just like torturing men. And I had witnessed them torturing women 20 years, right? So I said, what is going on? And then I just did kind of like a remote view. Think of it like that. I did kind of like a remote view, like what the heck is going on? Why are they doing this? And then I just kept seeing and hearing the phrase, like to my own self as I was like working on the book. Some girls work on being their best. So they are always beating their past selves. They are always improving upon themselves, right? Learning more, learn one hobby, master that hobby, learn another hobby. And other girls have the philosophy or the life or the little demon behavior of constantly beating the rest, which in their minds means attacking the rest. So if they feel someone is competition, they attack them.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
A good life coach.
And I kept searching.
and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
thank you.